Good morning. Here are the headlines for today. IMF predicts economic growth of 5.7% for Antigua this year. Barbados PM Mia Mottley, frontrunner for the post of UN Secretary General. Finance Colombia is a supporting partner for the largest corporate and investment banking event. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has said that economic activity in Antigua and Barbuda continues to bounce back from the declines registered during the pandemic, and that the economic growth for this year is projected at 5.7%. An IMF delegation headed by Emin Buzz, an assistant to the director at the research department of the IMF, recently ended a two-week visit to Antigua and Barbuda, where she held discussions with stakeholders for the 2023 Article 4 consultation. Buzz said growth is expected to be moderate and gradually converge to its long-term trend of about 3%, and price pressures are expected to dissipate in 2024. Buzz also advised that Antigua and Barbuda should work toward building stronger fiscal buffers and introduce excise tax on tobacco, alcohol, and sugar. To read more on this article, go to Caribbean.looknews.com. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley is rumored to be a top contender for the United Nations Secretary General position, with selection due in 2026. With the role historically cycling through different regions, the next Secretary General is anticipated to hail from Latin America or the Caribbean, favoring Mottley's candidacy. Also, the position has never been held by a woman in its 78-year history, thus mounting significant pressure to appoint a female candidate. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has openly voiced his support for Mottley. Mottley, who has served as Barbados Prime Minister since 2018, is internationally acclaimed for efforts in serving her nation's colonial ties and addressing issues like slavery reparations, climate change, and global financial institution reform. To read more on this article by Joanne Clark, go to CaribbeanNationalWeekly.com. Finance Colombia has announced that it will be a supporting partner at this year's Bonds, Loans, and ESG Capital Markets Latin America and Caribbean event from November 27th to 28th in Miami. Bonds, Loans, and ESG Capital Markets Latin America and Caribbean is the region's largest corporate and investment banking event. It brings together more than 500 of the most senior regional and international issuers, borrowers, investors, bankers, advisors, and regulators across Latin America and the Caribbean. Confirmed participants include representatives from top-end institutions who will share insights on the latest capital markets opportunities and trends across the region, including Ministry of Finance of Ecuador, National Treasury of Brazil, Ministry of Economic and Finance of Uruguay, CAF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, and many more. To read more on this article, go to financecolombia.com. This was your Carib Invest headline news to start your day. Bonjour.